And welcome to Questa College Basketball here on Questa HDTV. I'm Randy Scoville along with Jim Battersby, and tonight it's the 30th annual Phillips 66 Basketball Classic, and it's the final game of day one. The Panthers of Hartnell College taking on the Cougars of Questa College. Jim, glad to have you along. And as far as Ron Barba's team this year in his fourth season, really starting to get things where he wants to, off to a 5-0 start, a very high-scoring team he's got.
Right, this should be fun. Their track teams in tennis shoes kind of, they really move the ball up and down the floor. They'll put a shot up about every 8 to 10 seconds. Their offense really is their defense. They'll press and get a lot of easy layups. That's why they're shooting about 68%. So this year, tops in the state, I believe.
And also returning a bunch of folks, 6 players back this year, a couple players who had redshirted, 2 of the 4 players who were first-team All-Western State Conference last year, and really starting to get, like I say, a lot of offense, but the depth involved, and also really tapping in well with the local talent pool.
They really did well recruiting. Got some mission prep, always a great girls basketball program there. A couple players out of there. Good spread, Rigetti, Morro Bay. I mean, it really represents the county and the adjacent counties.
Yeah, and you mentioned the adjacent counties also. Melissa Lemus, who is really the primary point guard and the assist leader right now on this team, an all-state player from Santa Barbara High coming in. And folks, again, from out the state, Miriam Zabinski, who was first-team all-conference last year, coming in from Valley Center. So it seems like, again, that there's a preponderance of guards I know that we talked about, but it sounds like with that speed and pressure they've really been able to do, at least so far, who they've competed against, been able to do so well in that every win has been by double digits, and in some cases they've scored over 100 points and won by as many as 50.
Right. I was talking to Coach Barber before the game, and he says Melissa Lemus from Santa Barbara High School is really quite the find, and great point guard, great defender, and really is just one of the sparks of the team this year.
Well, Cuesta coming in 5-0. It's a different story right now for Hartnell, who is 0-5. Hartnell actually not able to return any players this year. They have a lone sophomore and list just 7 players on the roster, none taller than 5'9" last year in playing in the Coast Conference Southern Division. That's a conference with Cabrillo, De Anza, Mission, Monterey, Olón, and San Jose City. They were 7-16, 5-7 in conference. Their last game was at the Las Positas tournament back on November the 22nd. They lost to Cabrillo in what's been their closest game so far by 10 points, as they were paced with a double-double by Victoria Perez with 16 points and 13 respectively. As it turned out, Cuesta also was in that tournament, and they won the tournament by defeating Las Positas by a score of 71-32, with a 12-point halftime lead and holding Las Positas to 11 points in the second half of that game. So Ron Barba, again, started, have that kind of type of intensity with this team that, if you know Ron, is not really a stretch to expect from a team of his.
For sure.
By his own admission. So the Cougars coming out in their home white, as on the floor we will see number 11, Melissa Lemus, number 12, Courtney Chadwick. Also 23, Kaylee Williams. 20 is Miriam Zabisky, and tapping it off for the Cougars is 50, Jerica Crosby out of Morro Bay High School via Durango, Colorado, and she'll tap it off against number 22, that's Victoria Perez, who we talked about with the double-double in the last game, as the tap is controlled by the Cougars, and Miriam Zabinski, the sophomore from Valley Center, will bring it up. Lemus working the offense right now, so go up top to Williams.
Will, yell at those guys to help.
Over on the outside and over to Chadwick.
Yell at
over to Lemus.
And Justin.
Moving down low, trying to set up a shot with 10 on the clock. It'll be a 3 fired by Courtney Chadwick, and the Cougars are on the board, leading 3-0.
Yeah, our officials tonight are Shell Brown and Heidi Field and Monique Bookouts, signed to tonight's game.
Victoria Perez bringing it up for the Panthers of Hartnell College. Will lob it out over Jasmine Solari with it, but the back foot went over the center line, so it's going to be over and back against Hartnell and over to the Cougars as we're in the first minute of action. Winner of this game will play Butte College that defeated Las Positas earlier today, 57-40. Hancock, which is off to a great start, they're 5-1. Defeated Victor Valley today, 61-35. They're going to play Orange Coast. They won a thriller over Pierce in the game right before this, 67-66. The shot is good by Jerica Crosby at the edge of the lane. Jerica Crosby, freshman from Morro Bay and also County player, and it's 5-0 Cougars.
Yeah, it looks like Hartnell has only 6 players. That's all I count, and they're in for a long evening. We'll probably see a lot of the depth. Questa's bench probably be playing a lot of time tonight.
Solari shot no good, rebounded by Crosby for the Cougars. Lima's pushing it up, dishes off, and Kaylee Williams with a layup for her first two, 7-0 in favor of Questa. Gary Salvador in the backcourt. A collision ball comes loose, and Kaylee Williams has it with a 2-on-1. Will go Zabinski, fouled. Her layup will not go, but she will go to the line for a couple.
You can really see them get out on the break and run and create off of their defense.
Miriam Zabinski, team leader, averaging almost 22.5 points in the first 5 games of the year. 5'9" sophomore from Valley Center High School. And last year played all 5 positions for the Cougars. First team all-conference performer. She makes the first free throw to make it 8-0 Questa.
Will, I need you to get under the basket. Do we have a lower for her, number 10?
And Zabinski will make them both. He's also the leading rebounder and field goal and free throw percentage shooter on the team as well. Into the front court to Vanessa Pinson for Hancock. Content made underneath the hoop with Zabinski, and we'll have our first foul of the game, and it will be a blocking foul on Zabinski of the Cougars.
Questa's not particularly a tall team, but they really tower over Hartnell. A lot of mismatches in there size-wise.
Perez on the outside. Solari lost it from one, then lost it for good to Courtney Chadwick. We'll push it over to Lemus. We'll move it up. Lemus, 5'2" freshman out of Santa Barbara. Ball tip, but it goes right to Zabinski. Laying it up high up the glass, going to the left hand. Miriam Zabinski, her first field goal. She's got 11-point Cougar lead in the first 2 minutes of the game. Pinson will go strong to the hoop and put it in. Vanessa Pinson with her first 2.
Questa didn't get back on. Questa didn't get back on that one, and they got burned.
Chadwick's 3 won't go. Long rebound. Solari with good hustle gets to it and controls it, but right now double teamed. Ball slapped away, and Lemus contesting the ball, but deflects it out of bounds. Will stay Hartnell ball with 17:31 to go in the first half. Inbounded to Isabella Nava, number 11. Again, a predominantly freshman team as it's slapped away. Chadwick lobbing on over to Lemus, and she will finish and get the and one. First bucket for Melissa Lemus, who's averaging 7. And she'll have a chance for an and one. Foul is the first on the Panthers. It's on Jasmine Solari.
Lemus is penetrating it well. She's going to have a lot of assists tonight if she stays in long enough.
Cougars will go a little smaller. Katie Rodriguez, sophomore from Rigetti High School, replacing Jerica Crosby. Katie Rodriguez out with a knee injury last year, and you can see the brace. All Western State Conference performer her freshman year, which was a couple of years ago. Meanwhile, Lemus converts the three-point play, 14-2, and the Cougars are out pressing.
Yeah, we have a couple of third-year players that played a little bit before they were injured.
Pinson and Salvador. Solari looking to drive, made some contact with Chadwick as she was going inside the elbow. First foul on Chadwick and the second on the Cougars. The other thing you were talking a little bit about, the size and the quickness, but do you see that potentially later on in the year for the Cougars, could that pose some matchup problems as the basket is made by Nava? Do you see that maybe in some of the other teams that could present some matchup problems for Questa?
Yeah, I think once it gets into a half-court game and they have to rebound with the bigger teams, that it's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot harder.
Miriam Zabinski with 6 points, and the Cougars' lead is up to 12 at the 16:35 mark. Jasmine Solari moving inside, and Perez turnaround shot won't go. Rebound the paint by Lemus, and she'll push it up, running the court along with Kaylee Williams. Sends it on over to the side to Chadwick. She'll spot up for a 3. It won't go, and Perez snatches a rebound.
Lemus has a great view of everything going on the court. That was a totally cross-court pass.
Pinson.
Good eyes.
And Pinson travels. He's trying to fake, but traveled in the process, so it'll go over to the Cougars. Cougars led by an early 6 from Miriam Zabinski. Again, not a surprise as she is the leading scorer. For Questa, again, winner of this game will play Butte College. And that game will take place here in Cuesta Gym on Friday night at 7:30. Championship game is going to be Saturday at 4. Feed inside to Williams, loses it for a second, dives and is able to tap it over to Lemus, who palmed it, and it goes over to Hartnell. Coming in for the first time, Priscilla Kluis from The Hague in the Netherlands, sophomore from DeWitt College Prep. Considered the top defensive player last year. Also a sub, Genevieve Uruta is coming in. As we have just, again, just a couple players on the bench for the Panthers. On over to Solari. Solari lobbing it to Perez. Perez turnaround shot over Zabinski. In and out, won't go, and the rebound falls right to Zabinski in contact in the backcourt. It's going to be the third foul on Hartnell.
Questa's already played 8 or 9 players. I think that's going to be the format tonight. You're going to see a lot of mix and match and get to see some of these new faces on the campus here.
Fouls on Victoria Perez, her first. Williams looped around. Katie Rodriguez with a shot that's a little bit short. Zabinski, though, with the rebound. Hangs on the rim. Won't quite go. Perez had it and then lost it. It'll go back to the Cougars with 15:28 to go in the half.
Let's go to Randy's phone. Give him a lower here. They're not saying anything.
Zabinski sends it out high to Kluis. Corner Rodriguez, quick ball movement. Kluis is looking to post up inside. Now they send it back outside. Zabinski. Rodriguez setting up for the 3. Clangs out, will not go, but chased down by Williams. Another try for the Cougars.
Nice, Will, nice.
Chadwick skipping to Williams. Going inside the runner. Will not go, and Perez with good position gets the board for the Panthers.
3-1, take 1.
15 minutes to go in the first half. As we have another travel called in the front court on Vanessa Pinson back over to Questa.
Kaylee Williams from Mission Prep's a real good player, very solid, fundamental player, hard worker, good rebounder.
Kaylee Williams wearing number 23. I went to Point Loma Nazarene for a year and redshirted.
Didn't know that. So she has 2 years of eligibility.
Exactly. She's going to come out right now and be replaced by a freshman from Tehachapi. That's Danielle Simpson, number 22. Known for her defense and rebounding. Zabinski takes the feed, quick turnaround, bucket at the free throw line is good. Miriam Zabinski already at 8 points, 18-4 ball game. A little behind the back by Solari, almost lost it, and actually stayed in bounds with help from the official. Push it over against the press, over to Uruta. Movement inside. Pinson lost her footing, and apparently there was a reason for that, as there will be a push. It'll be the second on Miriam Zabinski.
Do we give Monique Bookout an assist on that for on that pass to her, the official?
It's a deflection. Remember, we say deflections are always good to the ball. Kept the ball in play. Maintained the flow of the game. So any good official will do.
Yes.
As you know.
Yes.
Having been one yourself.
For a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Turn around, in and out from Pinson won't go, and Zabinski's got it. Chadwick, we're moving around, trying to set up Rodriguez. Nothing yet. First touch for Simpson, who travels.
You know, Hartnell moves their defense around pretty well, but they're just too small to. I mean, Questa can shoot over them from almost any position on the floor.
That'll also be interesting to see as the game goes on, as far as their fitness level. Again, certainly they're used to having a small group of players that's playing a lot of minutes, but playing at this level of intensity for that long is going to be a challenge for them. I think it'd be a challenge for anybody. Zabinski moving and contact as the collision.
Oh, that was a good shot.
They say Victoria Perez, although I think they may have. I think they were asking. I think it looked like it might have been 23, Derry Salvador, but the call is going to go against Perez. Rodriguez to inbound quickly into Simpson. Her shot a little bit low, pulled down by Pinson. Perez on the outside been quiet so far, and a pass stolen by Zabitsky, who so far has pretty much done it all. And with a trailing Rodriguez, she will finish with the left hand again. Double figures already. Miriam Zabitsky unofficially with 10 of the Cougars' 20 points. Pushed up, Perez. Had the shot, had to adjust though, and unable to make it. Pull down, Simpson's got it. And it will be Rodriguez running the point, moving things up with Lemus on the bench.
Yeah, there's a bit of an intimidation factor too.
And a 3 for Katie Rodriguez. Cougars put down a tray.
With Questa's defense.
Or are they going to say it's a long 2, 22-4?
Yeah, with their hands up and everything, they're pretty tough to shoot over.
Kaylee Williams back in, and Miriam Zabinski will sit down for the first time. Cougars with Chadwick, Simpson, Cluis, Williams, and Rodriguez. Lob to Yeruda. Will step back. 13-10 to go in the half. Salvador, Perez almost lost it, then almost lost it again, then did lose it, and then a scramble on the floor. Salvador got it on possession arrow over to Cuesta with 13:03 to go in the half.
Questa gets loose balls too. That's another thing about them. They're not afraid to dive and mix it up a bit to get the ball.
Rodriguez quickly to Cluis. He's going to pass on the 3. They work it around. Chadwick will not pass on the 3. A little bit long, pulled down by Pinson. Yeruda going into the front court, but the pass a little bit low and out of reach of Solari. It will go back to Cuesta.
I think Questa's putting up a shot about every 8 to 10 seconds. I haven't really timed it yet, but they don't waste their time with a lot of fancy screens and stuff.
Kind of like
Open
that
person shoots.
that Phoenix Suns offense. Now was that a D'Antoni?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I remember when they was Steve Nash and the whole idea of get the ball up in 8 seconds. Perez, guarded by Simpson in a matchup of 22s. The runner from Salvador won't go. Tapped by Rodriguez, but kept for the Panthers by Yeruda. And a palm will turn it back over to Cuesta.
I give it to Hartnell. They're trying to run. They're trying to move the ball. Cuesta's already played 10 or 11 players.
Moving inside and lost by Rodriguez. Yeruda has got it. That's Genevieve Yeruda. Lima set to come back in. Pass to the interior, deflected out by Cluis. Williams has it on the break, and she will hang on to it and finish around Salvador for her second bucket. 4 points for Kaylee Williams at 24-4 Cuesta. Under the 12-minute mark of the first half.
That was a good job, Cameron.
Into Pinson, down low, and Pinson puts it off the glass nicely. Vanessa Pinson with 4 of her team's 6 points.
Was nice penetration and a pass on that by Hartnell. That's a good job.
Rodriguez, Williams, Cluis. Williams gets herself set, will take the 3 from the wing and make it Kaylee Williams out of Mission Prep, as Jim mentioned. 7 points for the Cougars in the home opener. Ball hung on to by Jasmine Solari for the Panthers, navigating through traffic and back to Salvador. And anticipated that pass, stolen, and Courtney Chadwick finishes.
Defense to offense, yeah. It's as described in the brochure, I guess you might say.
Yes. A full timeout called by head coach Mary Antonia of Hartnell. And again, not a bad idea about midway through the half. Give her team a little bit of a longer breather, too, given the lack of numbers on the Hartnell roster. But again, playing up also a decent amount of travel, although maybe not as much as sometimes the Cougars have to do. But for kind of being in Salinas, they kind of got caught in the lower part of the San Jose and Cupertino, but they get a little Santa Cruz mixed in there.
Yeah,
conference. San Jose City, a team that Cuesta has already played. In fact, that's actually who Cuesta had the 50-point win over, was San Jose City.
Wow, that's good, yeah.
In fact, the Cougars, prior to this, because we talked about some of the games that they played, they started out with a win over Fullerton, 74-63, and then beat San Diego City, 103-64. Had the point win we were talking about in the Las Positas tournament over San Jose City, 97-47. Modesto, a win, 92-45. And then Las Positas, a team that Hartnell has also played, and the Cougars winning that one and the tournament in the process, 71-32.
Yeah, the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, just historically, this was a team that scored in the 50s and low 60s and hung on as best they could. Now they're just a juggernaut. I mean, they're going to score a lot of points every game.
Well, especially if they've got a lot of moving parts that they can bring in, that can just keep the intensity
Definitely
that much longer and the overall speed of the game. Lemus with a steal is able to hang on to it, but double dribble in the process, was trying to see if she could finish, and was unable to get it out to Williams. So we'll go back to Hartnell.
We saw a great game before this. We saw the Orange Coast just nudge L.A. Pierce, and those are two of the top 20 teams in the state. Orange Coast is 14. Great game. Those are two good teams. Questa is very likely to meet one of those in the finals, or possibly Orange Coast in the finals, and that would be a great matchup.
Yeah, again, a couple Western State Conference teams here. Salvador misses, gets the feedback from Pinson. Her shot rattles around a couple times, will not go, but a good scramble for the offensive rebound. Solari's got it back for the Panthers. Gamble by Lemus. Perez, who's been quiet, over to Salvador, who makes her second bucket of the game, and that's 2 for Derry Salvador, 29-8. Well, the other thing, too, you're talking about top 20 teams. We're watching one right now as well, as the Cougars are ranked 16th overall and 10th in the southern half of the state. Western State Conference are looking strong right now. No teams with a losing record after a few weeks of play, as the three falls for Melissa Lemus. She's got 6.
Yeah, Carrie Norelli has Alan Hancock on the move, too. They're 4 or 5 win team. They won earlier tonight, and 5-win team. And so some of the weaker sisters are rising up, it looks like, in the conference. So.
The shot will not go for Salvador. A crash for the rebound. It's pulled in by Simpson. Outlet to Williams. There's Chadwick ahead of everybody, and she will finish. Courtney Chadwick has 7 points. Yeah, Pierce picked up their third loss of the year. That put them at 4-3 after their loss to Orange Coast, but a very competitive game, to say the least.
They'll be in the mix. They're just gelling. They have 2 really good guards, I noticed.
Chadwick and Williams. Williams gets herself a line. This 3 will not go, as moving out Ashley Gamber, number 30, who's checked into the lineup for the Cougars, freshman out of Tuolumne. Moving inside Pinson, who draws a foul. In fact, we talk about the Western State Conference North. Obviously, we have to talk about Ventura,
always,
who is 5-1.
We came so close last year to Ventura. I mean, even with some injuries and stuff on our part, this may be the year that we finally. I don't want to split with them. I want to win both games.
Well, again, people are unaware. Ventura's won 25 of the last 32 titles. And they've been a state power as well. Morgan Leapshire, number 21, a freshman out of San Luis High, is in, and Jerica Crosby has returned to the lineup as well, as they join Courtney Chadwick, Melissa Lemus, who's bringing it up, and also Ashley Gamber, who we mentioned had just come in. Crosby with a good feed outside. Lemus trying for another 3. This one will go, and the rebound is pulled down by Solari. And we have a whistle that will go against Questa. That's going to be Ashley Gamber's first. Actually, check that, her second she's marked for, and the 5th team foul. Also talking with Bob Mariucci earlier, the Questa men's team getting a big win in the Modesto tournament and playing Fresno City tonight.
Right, yes, they get rewarded by getting to play number 1. Which is all good. They're going to be a good team.
Good early season challenge, as Solari's shot goes under the net. 8:30 to go in the half, and it's 34-8. The Cougars coming in at 5-0, and Hartnell at 0-5. Melissa Lemus, freshman from Santa Barbara, pushing it up. And again, a lot of people can play point guard, but she's really, they call the pure point guard, or like Jim said earlier, who's been definitely considered a find for the Questa team. Gamber feeding Crosby coming to the line. A little trouble hanging on to it. Deflected loose onto the floor. Gamber's got it. Will roll it out to Lemus, but just 5 to shoot. Lemus, now aware of this, will launch one with 2 on the clock and put it in. 8 points unofficially for Melissa Lemus.
Gamber was really scrappy on that play. She battled hard and came up with the ball.
Lob to Perez. Again, Perez a double-double in the last game, but not much happening here. Fed it out, though, to Belborn Moiko in for the first time. And she puts down the first tray of the game for Hartnell, 36-11.
They have a couple girls that can shoot the ball. I mean, nice rotation, speaking of which.
As Courtney Chadwick with 3, second double-figure score for the Cougars. She ties Zabinski for the team lead with 10. Solari trying to get some penetration, switching hands and directions. Moving inside, Perez high off the glass. Hasn't had much luck today, and the rebound by Crosby. Lemus a little behind the back, razzle-dazzle. Leipzig looking at Crosby, miscommunication though. Yep. Crosby moving a different direction, and Perez gets the easy pick.
Got to remember, this is early in the season too, so.
Lob going backdoor, Salvador. The runner won't go in. Tapped on over to Lemus. Now Ashley Gamber, freshman from Tuolumne, moving it over to Chadwick.
You can zoom in a little bit, camera too.
Lemus, turn around, and we'll pass to Gamber. Found her open, and a lay-in for Ashley Gamber, her first points in Questa Gym.
The beauty of Lemus is she draws defenders to her off of players underneath and just leaves wide open passes. Easy layup.
Moiko and the feed. Shot will not go for Nava. Cougars having it. Lemus bringing it up with about 6 minutes to go in the first half. Lemus with a head fake down the edge of the paint and drew the foul. 5th team foul on Hartnell, and I believe that's going to be the 3rd charge to Perez. Meanwhile, Vanessa Pinson and Genevieve Yeruda set to return, as it's going to be Perez and Salvador coming out.
Lemus finally said, well, I think I'll just try to take a shot here. And giving up about 7 or 8 assists, I'm going to do a little driving layup, and got rewarded.
And the free throw is good for Lemus, who has made a couple in this game. So for the year now, 6 of 9. Meanwhile, Chadwick's going to come out, and in for the first time, number 31, Sam Updike, a freshman from Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, coming into the game, and right now in the backcourt with Gamber, and now also Katie Rodriguez will come in for the shooter, Melissa Lemus.
Yeah, mostly county players, a couple of exceptions, but it's great to see the local talent stay at home. You know, just
Updike able to keep her footing long enough to dish the pass off. Gamber kind of running almost a little bit out of control, but the ball is deflected and will stay. Cougar ball. It'll be Leipzig to inbounds.
Free throw and shot percentage or something.
I don't think any of Questa starters are in at the moment, are they?
Just Crosby, I believe.
Just Crosby.
Shot from Leipzig, and the long rebound going to Moiko.
They're backing off the press a little bit, too.
Nava into the corner, Solari, and up top to Moiko. Shot off the front of the rim, won't go in. Gamber coming in, grabs the rebound, and it looks like drew a foul as well.
You know, these are tough games to play, too, when you're dominating a team like this. You want to stay sharp and do your thing, run your schemes and patterns, and play D. And when you're beating somebody like this, sometimes that concentration leaves, and then you lose it for a while.
Yeah, although if you're a bench player, too, you're trying to make the best impression you can.
That's for sure.
You're getting that opportunity. Updike over to Leipzig. Updike firing underneath. Sees Gamber in close, but the carom does not go in. Pulled down by Vanessa Pinson. Moiko to Solari. Moiko will lob it, but right into Crosby's hands. Was trying to get into Pinson, going out ahead of everybody. Katie Rodriguez not being slowed down too much by the knee brace at all, and has 5 points for the Cougars.
You can now see Hartnell is really starting to slow down. There was nobody within 15 feet of her, and she's fast, but there's nobody even moving anywhere near the speed. So, and they only have 7 players, so it's I don't know. This is when you wish you could have the 4 corners back and run the clock down.
Ashley Gamber coming out, and Miriam Zabinski is back in with 4:20 to go in the first half. Also, Yeruda's returned for Hartnell. 3-shot, Leapshire a little bit short. Scramble for the rebound. Pinson had good position. But on the tie-up, they'll have to sacrifice the arrow, but Hartnell will retain the ball. With Salvador bringing it up. Rodriguez waiting for it midcourt. To Pinson. Double team. Ball deflected. Salvador gets it back. Yeruda's got it with 15 to shoot. Nava and Pinson. Pinson with a runner off the glass. It won't go. Another rebound for Crosby. Quick outlet to Leapshire, but on the trail, Solari able to deflect it and at least slow down the Cougars. Leapshire will chase it down, though, and they'll go out high to Zabinski into the corner. Updike, the three will not go, but Leapshire's right there to put it in. First home points for Morgan Leapshire out of San Luis High School with now about 3:15 to go in the half.
Questa's getting away with a lot of long cross-court passes, and part of that is Hartnell just does not have the quickness to get over. In the future, faster teams, those are kind of dangerous passes.
Yeah, grab on the wrists by Katie Rodriguez, her first foul, and the 6th on the Cougars, so both teams on the verge of the bonus now with 16 fouls apiece. Solari gets it back. Nava. A little spacing issue with Pinson and Salvador. And the shot is going to go for Nava, along 2 for Isabel Nava, who unofficially has 4. Leapshire. And it's going to be Zabinski, and will go Yeruda with good position. Pull down the weak side rebound. Yeruda's listed at 5'1".
Generously.
Plays with
She's
a lot.
hard-nosed, though.
Yeah, she is. She plays with a lot of energy, a lot of intensity.
Does.
Pinson turned around and put a shot up, which will get her free throws. In the active shooting, it's the foul on Jerica Crosby, which will be the Cougars' 7th. First foul on Crosby.
You know, Hartnell isn't shooting a really bad percentage. They're just not getting shots most of the time down there. They have a couple of shooters that are, when they get open, they can hit the open shot. But Questa's just smothering them. They're having difficulty penetrating or getting any kind of action on their offense.
Both free throws for Pinson, her team's high score. We had a couple subs as Lemus coming in along with Simpson. And Crosby going out as one of the Cougars out. Updike with the shot, and it's good. Sam Updike hits her first 2 as we come up on the 2-minute mark.
No shortage of shooters amongst the Cougars. They all seem to have good touches.
A big save by Yeruda. Solari back in the corner. Yeruda will take that 3. A little bit short, though. Good hustle rebound by Solari. Keeping the possession going. Pinson in traffic. Flips up the one-hander, and it's good for Benenza Pinson, who has 8.
That was a good series for Hartnell right there. They battled hard and got some rebounds and paid off for them.
Deflection by Nava, but Lemus gets it back. Leapshire, Updike. Zabinski skipping it over. Lemus looking to drive on, and right there is Simpson, who will put it off the glass. And good first points at Questa Gym for Danielle Simpson.
Nice job. That was good series.
Salvador, front court. All right, Nava inside, recognizes Solari underneath. Solari trying to find some space.
3 seconds, I think.
Yeah, took a little too long to get out of there.
Yeah. She was triple teamed.
Just around a minute to go in the first half. In the 30th annual Phillips 66 Basketball Classic. Final game of day 1. Winner is going to play Butte College tomorrow at 7:30. Championship is Saturday at 4. Ball deflected away by Hartnell. pushed up by Salvador. At a 13-second game and shot clock differential. Solari, Yeruda. Yeruda going inside, dishing it back. Nava, not quite, pulled down by Leipzig. Shot clock off with 25 seconds to go in the half.
We only got 20 seconds to go in the half. There's going to be a halftime show here coming up. They usually have some sort of
a lob,
event,
and it will be Salvador who will finish. Dari Salvador with 4 points, 10 seconds left in the half. Updike trying to push it on up. Zabinski has it with 6. They'll go to Lemus in the corner with 4 on the clock. The 3 doesn't go. A tap. Updike will have to hurry, wanted to pass it, but no more time left. Cougars will go in at halftime with a lead of 51-19. So coming in, we knew, because especially the disparity in numbers, that it would be a bit of a mismatch. But like you say, Hartnell has really shown a lot of intensity. They've tried to stay with the game. And at the same time, the Cougars trying to keep up their intensity, which you mentioned can drop. But so far, and kind of seeing some of these Cougar players in game action, what have you seen so far that you like?
I see a nice bench. I see not much of a drop-off. Players come in, they're eager to play hard, and they're very good fundamentally, and they know their business. They know what they want to do, and they do it. They're one of the better fast break teams. They got to be in community college basketball, at least that I've seen so far this year.
Well, they've got a lot of quickness. Yeah, and you were talking about Melissa Lemus too, just as far as having somebody who is really that true point guard and able to run the offense, make things go, but still a scoring threat herself too.
That's true. And we historically we haven't had point guards here. We've had that difficulty with men's basketball as well as we're going to have the Oklahoma Thunder $20,000 winner here at the halftime.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind if it was 20,000 pennies myself. There's been so many winners there in OKC. We're going to take a break for the half, and then we'll be back with the second half of tonight's game between Questa and Hartnell. Right now, the Cougars leading the Panthers 51-19, and enjoy the halftime festivities here on Questa HD TV.
Here we go.
Questa.edu. Television, radio, broadcast, communication. Explore the world of digital communication and tap into your creative genius. Television, radio, broadcast, communication.
This is your boy, the DUI, and you're listening to KGUR.org.
Your digital future is at Questa College right now. Log on to Questa.edu now for enrollment dates and class information.
Don't put the boom in the shot.
Blowing it, bro.
Questa.edu.